Hello, Chris from Your Architects here. Today we're going to talk about writing the perfect brief for clients and architects. Let's get started with the question of what is a brief. When undertaking any home improvement project, you will normally need the assistance of a professional designer, architect or builder. The most important stage is to communicate your dream in a simple and understandable format, which has a clear set of goals and objectives for your project. A brief is a continually evolving design document which is initially created by the client in the form of a description and wish list for a new project. A brief is typically a text document which explains in an increasing level of detail project's aims, objective, budget, time frame, etc. The brief can, however, be in multiple different formats, such as sketches, plans, diagrams, lists, photographs, mood boards. Brief is a term used by architects and few others. Say we are shopping for a new car. If we search the internet for my next car, it won't be particularly helpful and somewhat overwhelming. So we have to refine the search. This is the same as refining or creating a brief. If we know our budget, the colours we like, the features we need, and the make of car we trust, we can put that information into our search and the results will return the cars we can have. What is the difference between client brief, project brief, design brief and final brief? The brief is a generalised term which pulls together a number of important sub-briefs. Most projects normally only have one brief, which is a collection of the following elements. Initial client brief. The first stage of a brief is the client brief. This is typically a very simple statement which outlines what you would like for your new project. It is normally the initial inquiry made to an architect. For example, I would like more space in my existing home, possibly a rear extension. The design brief. Not always required. This is a brief that deals with just the design or aesthetics of the project. It is normally a collection of images or inspirations, a Pinterest board for example. It doesn't take into consideration wider requirements such as budget or timescale, but will deal with the architectural style you like and the materials you wish to use, such as brick or render or zinc or wood. For example, I would like more space in my existing home, possibly a rear extension, made from brick to match the existing house with a zinc roof to give it a modern feel. We would like dark grey windows and hidden gutters. Something like these images, photo 1, 2, 3, etc. Initial project brief. The initial client brief plus the design brief equals the initial project brief. This takes the initial client brief and the design brief and expands it into a full project brief. This will add all the other requirements for the project, such as the site details, the client details, the project budget, any timescales, and any constraints, etc. The final brief. The initial client brief plus the design brief plus the initial project brief equals the final brief. As mentioned at the start, the brief is a continually evolving design document. That said, there is a point at which the brief needs to be agreed upon and fixed to become the final brief. This is vital to ensure the client, architect and builder know exactly what is required and to protect against any misunderstanding or assumptions. The final brief is normally agreed at RIBA Stage 3, Develop Design, prior to any formal planning permission. Changing the brief after planning permission has been granted can be costly and risks having to reapply for permission. It is best to ensure you are happy with the brief and the design prior to applying for planning permission. So in summary, the brief can be described in 4 stages. The first stage is the client initial brief, which is a simple statement introducing yourselves and the project. What would you like to do? Number 2 is the design brief. Have you got any design ideas for your project? a Pinterest board for example, or a collection of images which explains the designs and styles you like. Number 3. Initial project brief. When would you like the project to be completed? What is your budget? Is there anything else about the project you would like to add? Number 4. Final project brief. Agree on a final brief prior to applying for planning permission. The agreed final brief is required to ensure the architect can deliver on what has been asked for. Hopefully that's given you a good understanding of the briefing process. If you've got any comments or questions, please drop us a line below. If not, stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.